Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go, people. We got the one and the only Ryan motherfucking Harkness, bro. We have all these questions that we have to ask. We just jumped right into it, man. The man's time is valuable. He's got shit to do. He's got a show to do later on today, 8 p.m. Eastern, the Ryan Harkness Show. It's all in the links down below. Go watch that show. I watch it every Sunday. Even if I'm not in the chat, I got on my big TV right over there, and I'm watching that, having a good time. Also, follow the motherfucker on X, Ryan Harkness _ We got all of that down below in the description. Check it out. Ryan Harkness, welcome. Thanks for popping by, bro. Let's shoot the shit a little bit. How you doing?
Thank you, brother. You're too kind. I always get excited to talk to you.
No, hell yeah, bro. There's very few people out here. I mean, this whole streaming thing, I'm all new to this kind of thing. And so this whole streaming thing's new to me. And, there's very few people out here that are cool as shit, and you're one of them. And so every time I get to talk to you, I feel like, bro, I'm talking to one of the boys down the block, man. That's what I kind of feel like. So I'm pumped.
You're too kind. I'm just a regular asshole that can...
That's what I am! That's what I am.
That's why we like each other.
Yeah. In fact, we were just talking about this nice bag of macadamia nuts, bro. What we have in the back. Got that from Costco. I'm actually making some macadamia nut fudge, and you were saying, bro, it's your favorite treat. When did it become your favorite treat, man?
I think when I first discovered them, like, it just locked in, love at first sight or love at first taste or whatever.
Yeah.
They are, as far as macadamia nuts go, the price of them is excellent, pound for pound. Macadamia nuts are an expensive treat. Like, if you go to 7-Eleven or something like that and get their little shitty, it's a minuscule amount. It's like a handful of macadamia nuts, and it's $9 or whatever. I don't know what they cost in California, but I think they're somewhere around $18 for that. And it's a big bag full of big-ass mac nuts. What is that, like 3 pounds or something like that?
Yeah, it's 3 pounds. Now, Ryan, they're saying you're coming in a little...
That was a guess.
Yeah, they're saying you're coming in a little soft, so you might want to turn up a little bit. But
let me turn it up a little bit.
This was $18 at Costco right here. Okay, now, Now, before they did the Kirkland, they had another brand, and they were more expensive. And I forget what they were, but they were Hawaiian macadamia nuts. Did you ever get a hold of those?
No, I don't even think I had the ones before that. They've always been that bag, the purplish bag. And I was so inundated with them, like, I researched it. I didn't know a lot about macadamia nuts, but I was like, I love these things.
Is this recent, or is this, like, within the last 10 years?
It's been two years now.
Oh, it's recent, bro! It's recent! Yeah, that's awesome. No, when I would go surf out in Hawaii, of course, they had them everywhere out there, and so I fell in love with them out there. And they had this thing, the Mauna Lua macadamia nut with the chocolate over it. But it would be like $30, and you would get like 10 of those just macadamia nuts dipped in chocolate. And I was so fucking mad because they were so damn expensive, bro. They are not cheap. They only
grow like in Hawaii and like maybe 1 or 2 other places. They're not easy to cultivate. Apparently, it's very geographically contingent.
Well, apparently Roseanne Barr has the market cornered on that, bro. Did you hear that she has like some huge macadamia nut farm out there in Maui, man? No joke. Oh. Yeah, she has an incredible macadamia nut orchard or whatever you want to call it. She has so many macadamia nuts that they're just littered all over her. She has like, I don't know how many acres. She has like 5 or 6 acres out there.
Really?
Yeah, she has this like big, huge house, and it's all kind of like crazy. She lives also in Texas, but I heard her talking about it, and that's the only thing I was jealous of her about, that she has this whole macadamia nut plantation. I don't know if it comes with slaves or not, but she's got a whole plantation out there.
That's the only reason to be jealous of Roseanne Barr at this point.
Dan, let's corner the market on the Mac nuts.
I used to be a Roseanne fan.
Bro, like, I love Roseanne. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the family would gather around the TV and we'd watch, one of the last remnants of American culture, but like she's really shown her true colors as of late.
Bro, what the hell? And her podcast, bro, it is like the weirdest in and out of the Gnosticistic, Kabbalistic, but we're Christian.
Yeah,
I tried because I thought she was gonna be funny, but she's not funny. And she has her son on there, and her son is a fucking drag, bro. That guy is an anchor, and I'm just like, oh my god, Roseanne, what happened to you, man?
Yeah, she used to be one of the greats, like one of the few females that you could look at and be like, this bitch is funny, but she stinks now. She's into that QAnon shit, and it's not great.
Bro, and this whole like, she has that thing. What is it? The grandmothers are gonna save the world kind of thing or something like that? Grandmothers unite. Did you hear about that? Where all of the grandmothers need to come together and change the world. And I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, if y'all can't even cook in the kitchen, how are you gonna change the world? Like, what the hell?
That's ridiculous. Yeah, we're not on a good track. I was sad when I learned that Roseanne kind of jumped the shark, because that was a really enduring time in my life when she was hot, and it really was a good show. Like, it was a piece of Americana that I just wish didn't dissolve into whatever the fuck she's become now. I think the last time I saw anything of Roseanne, other than little wacky clips here or there, was her appearance on Alex Jones. And she was just like drinking his methylene blue stuff and going off about the Muslim Brotherhood and QAnon talking points. I was like, man, it's cooked. We're not getting any more rosy. Yeah,
and same here. I used to watch her all the time, especially her first show when she first came up big, and then her and also with Dan, what's his name? I loved him. I used to love him, and I loved him in Oh Brother Where Art Thou? And so I watched a lot of those guys. And then when she did the reboot, I was really excited about that, even though she started to have all this weird shit in her show and everything like that. But
yeah, when she started it back up, didn't they like incorporate like transgendered kids and stuff like that? Which I don't know what they were shooting for there. It was a weird time when they rebooted it. I think like culturally and politically, so I don't even know how you make a TV show these days that can pass through whatever filter it needs to. But yeah, that was and then she made that tweet about somebody looking like a monkey or something.
Just
done.
And the crazy,
go back and look, like she was accurate, like that person.
She does look like a monkey. She does look like a monkey, and I forget what her name was. What was it? Jarrett or something like that. I forget. Yeah,
something
but
like that.
Valerie Jarrett, that's who it was. She does look like a monkey, bro. She did look like she was for Planet of the Apes, and so I thought it was funny as hell. And but all of a sudden she can't do it. She got kicked out, and now she's doing her lame ass podcast, bro. And the other thing too is when their guests come on, they're not very confrontational or combative or whatever. Like, you have all these different people come on and they just kiss her ass. Very hard to watch. Very hard to watch.
That's what I saw when I checked it out. They were just kind of scratching each other's back, not really going down any interesting tributaries, and bitching. Like, I'm getting very tired of just bitching about the state of things. Content, you know what I mean? It seems like we've been doing this for 10 years. It seems counterproductive, despite the fact that everybody seems to be into it. The bitching, like, it's just not for me anymore. And it really, last time we talked about creativity, and I was thinking, like, from a creative standpoint, and I was just thinking about this the other day, not even remembering that I was going to come on here, but, like, I wanted to talk to you about it. Do you ever think that you can achieve a more creative space the less content that you're consuming? For example, what I mean, if I'm like watching a lot of podcasts or listening to a lot of music or whatever, creative outlet you want to do, podcasting, art, music, whatever, like, the more that you consume other people's stuff, the less you have a proclivity as a creative person to create that stuff. You know what I mean? It kind of feels like if you deprive yourself of consuming, it puts you in a better position to make better stuff. What do you think about that?
I think that's 100% true. And the way that I look at it is, I think that as people, we're always taking in sensory information. 100% of the time that we're awake, we're taking in sensory information. When we look at podcasts and produced media, we're taking in programming from that societal component. The other option is to take in the stimulus from the real world. You're always going to be more creative when you take in the stimulus from the real world. Whether, like, say for example, you're painting a landscape, or like you're trying to make some kill cones for some raccoons or whatever. Whenever you do that, that's going to be original content for yourself, that then you can amplify out. And I 100% agree. If you want to be like everybody else, consume what everybody else consumes. If you want to be original and creative, go out there and have your own adventure. adventure and take it in from the natural world. That's my baseline. That's kind of what I think about as far as when creativity goes. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with you. And like in terms of you, I was thinking about that because like at face value, it seems like you kind of like at least have 1 foot or at least a toe like in all kinds of little consuming content areas here and there, different shows and stuff like that. And I was thinking like Ray is so good at what he does and he makes such great stuff.
Thanks,
like,
bro.
how does he be able to like take in this stuff yet still be so independent of it? You know what I mean? Because it seems like if you are in these things, you might tend to grab a piece of that there, or grab a piece of that and kind of ape it or whatever. But and that's what I'm deathly afraid of. So I'm glad to see somebody like you can still, like, I don't know, watch my show or the shows that you still watch, and you're still doing your own thing. It's really good, because one of the things that, like, gives me the ick from a podcasting standpoint or a creation standpoint is, like, these little cliques that have formed. These little universes and things like that. These, I'm loath to say it because people love it so much, but these communities that revolve around podcasts, I always look at that and I go, ugh, like, I don't want nothing to do with that. Even if I find, like, I will find myself actively avoiding, like, even if I get a piece of something that I'm like, oh, this was cool, it'd be cool to talk about. Like, if it's tied to a little click or something like that, like, I'm not going to touch it, because it seems like you could get sucked into that. Because how many times have you seen people, like kind of revolve their whole thing around a certain person or a certain lolcow or anything like that? Like the Stuttering John thing, or the opiate, like, all these kind of old relics that it's fun to make fun of from a podcasting standpoint. Like, whole communities have been built on making fun of this one person or this one subject or whatever. And every time I see people, like, placate to that, I'm like, ew. Like, I couldn't imagine locking myself in this kind of box to where, like, you have to have a make fun of Stuttering John show, or you have to have a make fun of Aaron M. Holt show, or whatever it is. So that, I think that speaks to what we were just talking about. Like, I think that snowball gets rolling because people are consuming. They're consuming rather than, like what you said, living in the real world, experiencing things, stimuli from the real world, and garnering their own opinions, standpoints, and stuff from their own individual situation. It's a big red flag to fall into those traps. And I feel like, you know, the barrier to this shit, anybody can buy a microphone and a webcam and all that kind of stuff, and the market is kind of flooded with people doing this. But 95-ish% of it is people that are just aping other people. You know what I mean?
No, you're 100% right.
It really gives me the ick. And I've always been very conscientious of that. And I'm like, I'm not going to get pulled into this little, this little thing or that little thing. Like, I've been featured on, like, a lot of other shows. I've never glommed on to any of those. Like, people that are way bigger than me. I've never, like, been in their DMs and been like, how about you play this of mine? How about you play that of mine? You can ask anybody. Any fucking larger platform that I've been featured on or my work has been featured on, ask those people personally. Hey, has Ryan ever been in your shit and, like, trying to promulgate the momentum that he got from you? It's not really... It doesn't really fulfill me. Like, if I get a pop on something from a bigger creator, like, they're like, hey, this is funny, check this guy out, I will never follow up and be like, hey, I saw you played my shit.
By the way.
Check this out. Not once, man, because I kind of went through that before when I used to do FM radio, the clout chasing, I guess you could say. And it did give me the ick, and it got me in trouble here and there, and it's just something that in my old age of 41, like, I will never go back to that again. So I really like I feel that you do this, like, just do your best, or as much as you of your best that you feel like doing.
Right.
And put it out there and let it land or fail or whatever based on its own merits, and wherever the cards land, they're gonna land like that. But I see a lot of, I mean, like I said, everybody wants to be an influencer or a content creator, and I see a lot of coattail grabbing, and it comes out in the stuff that they make, and it's something that I really find myself trying to avoid these days, because the temptation is there sometimes. Yeah. Like, if you get a pop from some kind of low-hanging fruit virality aspect or something, the proclivity to want to replicate that is very strong. But I don't think it ever goes anywhere good. I like the low and slow boil. That's my approach.
No, I completely agree with you. And, bro, this is one of the reasons why I love talking to you, because as you're talking, like, all of these things are firing in my mind. And I'm like, yeah, this. And what I see is the same thing that you see. I see, this online thing is the hierarchy is very feminine. And in order to, like, do that backbiting stuff and try to do the hypergaming social ladder, that's very feminine shit. And I never wanted to do that either. That turns my skin inside out, right? Like, when I jumped on here, I wanted to be an artist that wanted to find some kind of audience that could maybe sell his art to or something like that. I didn't really think about being a YouTuber or a streamer or anything like that. And so I wanted to maintain that. And also, I wanted to keep that authenticity. And to me, the strongest a person can be is the most authentic to themselves that they are. I'm not trying to wear, like, a leather jacket or spike hair or a nose ring or try to fit in and try to, like, be provocative. I just want to be as authentic as I can, and I see that in you. And that's why I kind of vibe a lot with you. And I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker right here. Like, I'll show up, I'll run out there after the raccoon, like, with my white worm bouncing. I don't give a fuck. We're going to get that motherfucker. And, that's what it's all about. And that's the most... it's like when you fill your cup of your life up, and then you can pour it out. I see so many people trying to pour out an empty cup on these streams, and they ain't got nothing to say. And then what happens is they get, like, algorithm or audience captured, and it truncates their personality, and they get fit in this little box. There was this artist I used to follow back in the day, and he was going through art school, and he started to do the YouTube thing. But then he discovered that if he drew stupid shit on phones and gave them away, then he got big pops in the algorithm. So then he started drawing on bigger things, and then that's all he did was draw stupid shit on, like, Nikes or on, Louis Vuitton luggage or whatever, and gave it away, and then made all this money. And he never became an artist, bro. He was just this YouTuber that did this gimmick, and I never wanted to be captured to that, right? I always thought about, okay, well, I feel that the machine, like this, there is this machine that wants to chew us up and keep us in this, like, groove of society. And I wanted to exist outside of that in my own authentic self, just like I see you doing it, just like I see the macadamia nuts do it. We want to be authentic, right? And so we want to find something that has long-term happiness. And quite often we mistake wealth for long-term happiness, or a car for long-term happiness, when really it's like, I get to get on here and shoot the shit with Ryan, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about all these things, and we're going to find this synergistic, resonance between us. And, we're both going to be excited about that and go on for the rest of our day and the rest of our week and remember, hey, that motherfucker was cool. We had a good connection there. That's what it's all about. And so I think as an artist, which is, to me, an artist is somebody who dares to go on ahead of the normal people and take the pain and learn something that they don't know and turn around and give it to the people, trying to, dish it out or wake them up, almost like a prophet in some respects, but without all that God shit, right? And they endure it, and they turn around and they give it to the people. And so if you're going to be an artist, you can't, subjugate your artistic endeavors to monetary policy or fame. Fuck that, right? And so those are kind of my initial thoughts. I know I kind of went on a little bit of a haiku there, but... what was it? 575 is the haiku. You know what I'm saying?
No, it makes sense though. Like, it, and you can feel it in your bones. Like, do you I know, like, you're kind of a Zen dude, but you probably engage in a little doom scrolling here and there. I'm sure
Oh, yeah.
you've had overdoses of internet, and
Yeah.
it's just objectively like gross feeling. Like you get into this mindset where you're like, I am just spinning my wheels consuming this dog shit. It is not only is it not fun, the dopaminergic whatever that's going on doesn't really work anymore, and it's just so time consuming. And that's like what most things are, it feels like.
Because
I respond to pain, I think, more than I do to pleasure.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm to change my behavior, it's going to be contingent on burning my hand on the stove or whatever. I don't like pain. Nobody does, for the most part. And it's become really painful to me just wasting my time consuming slop on the internet. And that's really what most of the stuff on the internet is. It's really driving me to turn the motherfucker off, frankly, because I could see every now and then I get sucked into it because, that's people want the slop. They want the doom scroll. They want the clickbaity stuff. I get that. But you can't even play that game. You can't even have one foot in it. You can't give a little bit of slop and balance that with a truly creative program or anything like that. I am really on a track of just shutting this motherfucker off and going back to because I see the pattern too. Like the best stuff that I've ever created, the best shows, the best parody elements, the best whatever, was basically done in a vacuumous, dark room. It was when I was in a dynamic where I hadn't been listening to anything. I hadn't been persuaded or felt like I needed to ape anything. It's just a shot in the dark, a lightning bolt idea that hits you or whatever in a dynamic where, like, I'm just living my life. And I've seen it's happened enough that all the dankest stuff that I've ever put out was under that situation. So, you replicate what works, and I think I'm going to be a little less internety as far as where I'm going to continue what path down, because you just make better stuff. You can't rapid fire machine gun out content all the time if you're going to do that. But I like the less frequent yet sweeter little bullet points. You know what I mean? Like it's better, in my opinion, to get a grand slam than it is to get 10 singles. So we are bathed in a 30-second clip kind of dopaminergic singles, hit dinger singles all over the place. That's what has been the most monetizable. That's what most time people with the phone in their face, that's what they're engaging in. And it's just the grossness of it at this point. I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do this anymore. I
completely agree.
Tend to avoid it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think of it a lot like the gambling situation. Like if you go play slot machines, you have to understand the reason why people get hooked on slot machines is because they're always thinking that next pull, that next pull, that next pull. Mm-hmm. But if you can, from a psychological point of view, if you can unhook that little pin right there so it doesn't pull you back in, and you realize, well, I'm never going to win, it's 1 in 175 million or whatever, 175,000, then you can walk away from that slot machine. And that's kind of the same situation it is with the social media. If I realize, no, this person that's randomly DM me, they're not my friend, they're never going to be my friend. No, this little thing that I'm going to, there isn't no other videos out there that's going to be worth watching. If there are, I'll hear about it tomorrow. And I just tell myself, that's how I tell myself. I was like, no, it's no big deal. Don't worry about that. Or, hey, I firmly believe you become what you practice. And so in a roundabout way, when you doom scrolling, you're practicing that, right? And you're confining your creativity, you're confining your mind into the portal that whoever it is that runs the TikTok or the algorithm, whatever, they want to show you. And so they're changing your focus. And there's one thing I hate. I hate motherfuckers to control my ass. So I'm like, fuck no, let me break out of this shit right here. And let me get back. That's why I've always done traditional artwork. I've never wanted to do computer-based artwork because I wanted to feel it in my hands. I wanted it to be one of one. I wanted to see with my eyes. I wanted to blend that paint and that charcoal or whatever with my own hand. I didn't want to do the whole mousy clicky thing and then it does it itself. And I'm not really an artist. Sure, all you digital artists, you're still artists, but I'm practicing clicking. I'm not practicing smudging that charcoal. I'm not practicing mixing that oil paint. I'm practicing click, and I'm letting the computer do gradients and all that shit for me. So if they took away the computer, where am I at? And that was really big for me. That was because I come from an engineering background first and foremost, and so I was like always like, a systems theory kind of guy. And I'm like, well, I don't want to have any of these crucial links in my system. So I knew if Adobe ever wanted to, claim copyright, that it would fuck me over because now I invested 10 or 15 years in making Adobe Photoshop or whatever illustrations. And now they have a part ownership in that just because they can change the rules. Fuck that. It's the same thing that's going to happen with AI. The same thing is going to happen with all this stuff. So I wanted to be completely in control of all my own shit. And I wanted to completely, visualize and take in the stimulus from the real world, from the natural world, because I believe that that is the most masculine that we as human beings, as men, can be when we understand the consequences of the natural world and then we are creative and we do something with those consequences. That's our purpose. That's what we should be doing. And we do that. We interface with the natural world for the women in our lives and for the families in our lives. And that's our purpose. That's what we do. And so, I wanted to do that with artwork. And I saw different people like Edgar Payne, and he's a fantastic oil painter from back in the day, 1920s or whatever. And he would go out and take his entire family on top of a fucking mountain and paint right there. Set up his big-ass easel and paint right there. And he's got his daughter, and he's got his wife, and she's making coffee. And I was like, fuck yeah, that's what it's all about right there.
Yeah. And I there's something about elegance, too. That just simplicity, like elegance, simplicity. I know that's kind of synonymous, but I really appreciate being able to, and that's why I like podcasting. The fact that you could just, crack a mic and your job is to entertain people. It's simplicity. I like that. And if I don't know if you remember, but the reason, speaking to what you were talking about, like avoiding the use of computer-generated graphic design and stuff like that. Remember when you sent me the hard copy of the pirate Aaron M. Holt thing?
Yeah.
And you asked me, like, do you want me to color it? Like, the reason that I didn't want it colored is it's because that, under that auspices, it, like, captures the natural art form of the
natural state,
stuff, Mm-hmm. And it's simple and it's elegant, and there's just something about that I really appreciate. So I think, and you feel it too with like all that. There's so much AI slop that's out there, and to this day, I know it's getting better or whatever, but like it's never really impressed me at all. Every now and then you'll see something that, like, I guess that could have existed or whatever, but I've never seen anything created by AI at this point from an artistic standpoint that I'm like, that's fucking good. Nothing has ever made the hair on my arm stand on end. Nothing has ever captivated me. Even as good as it is right now, not once has that happened. And it could be like a Luddite syndrome that I have or whatever. I'd like to, keep that that open if that's the reason. I just could be an old fogey like, these kids and their AI and shit. Like, maybe that is it. But
those Beatles.
Really feel like the soul isn't there in that stuff. And I just feel that it's not. So to this day, it hasn't impressed me one bit, but like the elegant aspect of art creation is just, a paintbrush, an easel, and a palette, a fucking pencil and a piece of paper, a fucking lump of charcoal and a piece of paper or whatever, a microphone and a go live button, like all this kind of stuff, not contingent on quantum computing and networks of machines all together, and this, like you mentioned, this proprietary software that they could add licensure in there and all that kind of stuff. Those critical links that can be thrown in to captivate your stuff at any point. Like, there's something rebellious about being able to have a bucket of nails, some wood, and a hammer, and be able to build something rather than having to go to, I don't know, Home Depot or whatever to get it. Like, as independent as you could get from the machine, as elegant as you could get, is what I appreciate the most. And it gives me that feeling that's so hard to replicate these days. And I'm seeing less and less of it. People are making less art. It's getting shittier. But people are less funny now, which is very offensive to me. Like, comedy,
what happened to the comedians, bro? The comedians are pussies now.
Were funny.
Yeah.
Remember when comedy specials? Remember Eddie Murphy Raw? Do you remember Richard Pryor? Do you remember Louis C.K.'s Good Shit? Do you remember all that? What? It doesn't exist anymore.
No.
You don't believe me? Check out, and I'm going to talk about this tonight on the show. If you got Netflix, do me a favor and punish yourself a little bit. Go check out Matt Rife's new Christmas crowdwork special and tell me that is as good. We're supposed to be progressing, right? Things are supposed to be better. You watch that and you tell me if that's as good as anything, like even a lower level stand-up comedian in the 80s and the 90s and stuff. It's not. Everything's getting worse. The stuff that gave human beings their soul and the artistic aspects of it, it's all getting worse. Yeah. And again, it could be the Luddite in me. I don't think so. What's screaming to me is we're getting away from elegance and skill and letting ones and zeros take the place of that. And it fucking sucks, man. Like, I don't think you could ever create a human consciousness or a human soul or a real joke or anything with ones and zeros. It's not working for me, and maybe it is for other people. I could be alone on my island or with a special few people that agree with me, but it ain't tickling the spots for me. No, I don't know about you.
No, I think you're 100% right, and I think what happens there is something that a lot of people don't think about is that they are conditioning the audience. I remember Cat Williams said every time he does a special or a comedy tour, it's a conversation between him and the audience. Now it's more like everybody's doing these specials to get little clips to put on social media so it goes viral. So, they're not really playing to the audience anymore. They're playing to the social media. Along with the social media comes all of that, all of the aggregation through the algorithm and all that, all those rules, all that TOS, all of this stuff to water it down. And in turn, they condition the audience to accept all that bullshit, right? Like if a Patrice O'Neal jumped on the scene right now, what would happen, bro? He would fucking smash and destroy everything.
Break the whole thing.
It would be over with, and that's a social engineering capacity. I also think that, like, touching on AI is never going to do that because it's trying to remove the empathetic lens of human beings from the creation of art. AI is only where it is today because it basically went through and scraped the entire internet of all these images that all these artists made for such a long time. It put it in its own database, and now it just does an amalgamation of those images in order to reproduce or facsimilate or whatever its own concept of art. What happens when that data stream runs dry? It's over with for the AI. And so I think the same thing happens too with comedy. The same thing happens with all of these different aspects of creation or entertainment or the expression of the human condition. How can you express the human condition when you remove the human component? It's impossible. And then these people who are running all these AI things, they're the people who are jealous of all the people standing up on stage. Like we look at Elon Musk. Did he stay a nerd? No, motherfucker went and had a glow up, had a makeover, went to Turkey, got the hair plugs 3 or 4 times. We look at Jeff Bezos. Did he stay a nerd? No, he got jacked. He got his one eyeball fucked up. He shaved his head. He went from woman to woman. All of these people want to be in the limelight, and they can't do it, so they want to steal it from the people who are in the limelight. And then after they steal it, they want to destroy those people they stole it from. And that's a typical cluster B personality disorder right there. You got your sociopaths, your psychopaths, your Machiavellianism, your narcissism. And that's kind of what I see that's going on. And so I agree with you. It's not the Luddite thing. It's not like back in the day when people were like, oh, them Beatles, I'm going to shake my fist at them. Even though the British invasion was this whole like, Tavistock kind of thing, whatever. They were kind of right. But it is that, right? Because I do the same thing. I think, oh, wow, why does music suck so bad now? Or am I just out of tune? I'm looking at that. How come I don't know any of these famous people that are on TV or in movies now? And how come when I look at them, I'm like, why the fuck they famous?
Yeah, the music thing is fucking real, dude. Like, my job used to be a lot easier as far as the parody song element, because in the early 2000s stuff, you had a library of hits, pop stars, great music to pull through, and they were still making them in those days. Like, there were legitimate pop stars that were making hits, and it was coming out month by month, year by year, all the time. Nobody makes good pop music anymore. That shit just does not exist. So I've completely lost like my desire to make parody songs and stuff like that. 'Cause the last one was nothing even hits me anymore. Like I couldn't tell you what the Billboard Top 20 is.
Right.
I don't know what's going. I don't know any of that. And I've thought like, well, am I just getting old? And what are the kids listening to? Like it could be that. Yeah. But maybe just everything sucks and stuff doesn't organically spread like it used to. We don't have a Dr. Dre Chronic. We don't have a whatever, a Whitney Houston or anything of 2025. It's all just shit. It's all just shit. So there's really nothing that's like, and that my job used to be so easy when I did FM radio and parody songs and stuff. Because on that station, whatever station was on either side of it, it was a music station, and they were playing, whatever was coming out that day, and it was they were making them all the time, and I could just pick from that library. And whether you were a elementary school teacher or somebody working in an oil field, if you were listening to FM radio, those songs were probably in your head, and you'd go through a month where a hit was just, man, I got this earworm in my head or whatever, and I could just easily pick out earworms and be like, all right, I'm gonna make a project out of this. And people, it's a naughty little trick, because people then associate the earworm with your comedy and stuff, and you almost steal that fucking song from somebody. So if you look back, like as of recent, when I got back into content creation and radio stuff, what did I have to choose from? Remember that Oliver Anthony song that came out that just like was a earworm for everybody in the talk of the town?
And they were pushing that.
Yeah, they were pushing it too. So I was able to steal that and reproduce it into something and it went fucking ridiculous. It really blew up. And we don't have a lot of that anymore. Not only do we not have a lot of it, we barely have any of it. Nobody's making anything anymore. And I don't know if it's a chicken and or egg situation, or people are dumber or don't care to make music or consume music. I don't know what it is, but we're obviously going in a direction where it's basically WALL-E. That Disney movie where everybody's fat and consuming the horse shit handed down from on high, and in their rascal scooters. Like it's getting bad, man. But at the same time, that creates a dynamic where you could capitalize on that.
100%.
Like if everybody gets tired of this horse shit that we're being fed and being they're trying to convince us that this is the thing, which has always been. We've always been. People have been trying to convince us that whatever they put in front of us is the new thing. But that aside, like there is a lot of opportunity opening up for actual, genuine, funny, beautiful, awesome content, awesome art, all that kind of stuff. So it's not just like a complete black pill situation. There's holes in the market that can easily be filled up by real work, which is a bright side to all of this, in my opinion.
No, you're 100% right. And I always look at it like, I look at it from the baseline of like, if you're going to be a drug dealer. Of course, I've never sold drugs or anything like that, but I look at the drug dealer as the most purest form of the market, right? If everybody's starting to sell this synthesized bullshit, you come in with that authentic dime bag or whatever, and everybody's going to be like popping jonesing for it, trying to get after it and all that kind of stuff. And even now, when you were talking about the music, I'm trying to think of any kind of like original lick or original like solo or guitar or anything like that, and it's been a fucking long ass time. Maybe the last real one that I heard was when Santana did Smooth with Rob, what's his name? And
Rob Smith? Not
yeah.
Rob Smith. Rob. I actually hung out with that guy from. Matchbox 20.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy.
Was he cool?
Yeah, it was really nice. I met him at a family reunion, not my family reunion, but a friend of mine that went to high school. They were cousins with him or whatever, and I got invited and got to eat barbecue and ambrosia salad with the guy from Matchbox 20. He was wonderful.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think Rob Thomas, I think that's his name.
Thomas, yeah.
Yeah. I met maybe one or two rock stars in my day, and one of them I met in a very crazy situation. My boss knows the Gettys, or the guy I used to work for back around a while ago. He knew the Gettys, and so we went over to their house one time. This was when I was living in San Francisco, and we went over to this huge ass mansion, bro. It was fucking mind blowing. And he had these big lofted ceilings, like Picasso's, like all kinds of this fantastic artwork. And I was like, wow. And I met the guy from the lead from Three Doors Down, and he was just sitting there fucking getting hammered at this local bar, right at the bar in his little house or whatever. And then I look over at the Getty guy, and the Getty guy was like fucking like whacked out of his mind on something, just rocking like this on the couch, staring at like a huge big screen TV with all these colors just going on it, and he was just doing this like the whole time, and like we were carrying on like, oh, nothing this is normal, this is completely normal, yeah, isn't that a nice Salvador Dali over there, and oh, that chair over there is $500,000, it's from the 1300s, don't you know, and all this kind of stuff, and I'm sitting there like with my jaw trying to put it back in my my face, and yeah, my boss, he was just like, oh yeah, well, this is how he is all the time. I'm like, what, fucking whacked out on heroin? And we got in the car, he's all, yeah, he's always whacked out on heroin. That's how he really is. I was like, wow. I was like, what the fuck is that all about? But the guy from Three Doors Down, he wasn't that nice of a guy. he was like, who are you? I'm like, nobody. He's like, yeah, that's right.
He's not doing too well these days, is he?
Well yeah. Yeah, no, if you're not going to be a nice guy, I guess not, right?
Frankly, dying of cancer right now. I saw a thing on, I think, Twitter. He's just all emaciated. I mean, I feel bad for him. But, yeah, I think that guy's dying right now. So you get the last laugh. Don't be an asshole, I guess.
Yeah, motherfucker. What do you think about that? No, but, yeah, so, yeah, that was weird. And he did a concert there. Like, that guy, like, the Getty guy would have concerts at his house all the time in his front room. And, like, big-ass people would come through, like the Rolling Stones and shit. Like legit people like that.
Getty, I keep thinking, my mind goes to Geddy Lee of Rush. Like who's this Getty?
John Paul Getty. Out here on the West Coast, the Getty family is a huge wealthy family, and they have like a couple of huge Getty museums, art museums in LA. Okay. And they're a big time, like elite old world family kind of thing, old money kind of thing. And they go all the way back, and they ran all kinds of, I don't know, big shit. And they're the ones behind Gavin Newsom out here. And so whatever they say kind of go, and they're behind Nancy Pelosi and all that kind of stuff. And so whatever they say.
That explains the high ceilings and the Picassos and stuff like that. At first I thought you were talking about to fish islands, Geddy Lee from Rush, but
yeah,
this is a far more wealthy Getty.
Yeah, this is like on the level of like Rockefeller, that kind of thing, West Coast Rockefellers, and he had a whole room of mushrooms, bro, from all over the world. That was in all. It was this weird room.
Were they alive?
They were alive. They were in these little like the little glass domes, and there must have been 1,000 of them. And it's a specially built room that it looked like a mushroom room because it had a dome roof, and they had thousands of little alcoves where these little like terrariums were with this glass thing over it, and they were growing mushrooms. And I guess somebody came in like once a week and like tended to all of them. And
Dude,
that was
they were like mycology aficionados or something, or admirers. That's kind of cool. Like, you think about I could see myself like doing something like that if I had "fuck you, suck my dick" money. Like, I could rock a mushroom room with all kinds of, not even like, psilocybin mushrooms, like all kinds of goofy weird shit. Just like, yeah, this is how I burn all my expendable income. I have 9,000 species of mushrooms growing under my roof in the den or whatever. And,
no, 100%.
I pay somebody $150,000 to come in and spritz the fucking things or whatever. That's pretty neat, actually.
Yeah, it was very cool, and the wealth is unimaginable, but that mushroom really stuck with me, and some of them were the psilocybin mushrooms too. Yeah, and of course, I mean, I'm sure they whatever. There's no rules at that level, I asked my boss. I was like, bro, what? So these people? How come you? Well, he had a nice house, a couple $1 million house in San Francisco, and I'm like, bro, how come you're not like all up in the mix with these motherfuckers? And you know what he did? He turned to me and he said, I'm not willing to do what it takes to be that wealthy. And I was like,
eggs need to be broken if you're gonna make omelets, and there's nary a person like. You pick one out of a hat. The Charlie Kirks, the this is or that. No matter how noble you think that person was, there's a little bit of blood-soaked fabric here and there in the tapestry that made whatever they did, or co-signing with some shit. That's just the way it is. If you really want to be in that club, there's some things that you have to accept typically.
Yeah, it's a different type of algorithm capture, isn't it? It's like the rich people's algorithm capture right there. And you start having to, get, I don't know, is it a little bit of an alchemical process, I guess, where they start to condition you to fit into their group. And their group is like a rough group, bro. It's a rough group and a lot of shit that you wouldn't be cool with. I mean, we've heard all like going back to Cat Williams, how he like walked past that party in Hollywood. He looked in the wrong door and he was like, "Oh, that motherfucker's catching it up the ass. What the fuck?" Shit like that. That's the real deal. That's the real kind of stuff. I mean, like we got Diddy going through that right now, talking about all that crazy stuff. But isn't it interesting? Nobody's talking about what happened to Justin Bieber. I find that fascinating. He was underage at that time, and nobody's even talking about that.
Yeah, it's sad that he got left out to pasture when it comes to young people that got eaten by the Hollywood machine. But something happened because you could just see in that young man's eyes, like,
oh yeah,
he's been through the gamut of celebrity penis that was
celebrity penis
not wanted at all. It's just like, and I feel like that's a good example of somebody that probably has more money than he knows what to do with or whatever, and it's just he's filling all these God-shaped holes in his soul with things that are going to make this pain go away. And it really shows what the kind of things you need to fill your life with. I mean, there's Ferraris and mansions and stuff like that, but that doesn't take away that black eyes like a doll's eyes. He has doll's eyes, and that's because of trauma. But yeah, that's rarely talked about. That poor Justin Bieber. I feel bad for that young man.
Yeah, there's some things that cannot be undone, and I think a lot of people don't realize that, especially early on in their career or their life or whatever, as they're trying to go out and they're like, I know a lot of people who say, well, I'll just do this, but I'll think the other way, or I'll just, maybe I'll change it from the inside, and that never happens. What ends up happening is they themselves get changed and they come up with different justifications to go ahead and engage in that behavior. Oh, just this one time I'll take it up the ass, just this once, you know what I mean?
It's going to be 10, 15 minutes. Who cares?
It's all good.
Like that.
It's
a lifetime. of taking it up the ass in the back of your mind.
It changes
every time you.
you.
Look at a sunset, every time you try to hear a baby giggle or anything like that, that dick in your ass is going to reverberate throughout your existence. That's something that I truly believe.
Yeah, no, 100%.
From all the dick I've taken in the ass.
From none of the dick, bro. I was watching Corey Holcomb, and he said, "Yeah, bro, all these motherfuckers getting their man cards taken, and they can never get it back." And I thought that was a really succinct way to say that, because you do get changed. It is some things you can't bring back to life, and even with the creativity and the joy, you know, that's a very precious thing that you have to protect. And if you allow somebody else to say, "Here, I'll give you maybe, you know, $1 million if you go ahead and give me that creativity and let me fucking destroy it for a year." And then when you get it back, it's not the same, and you can't channel that joy anymore. It's such a huge impact on who you are as a person. It fucking changes you, man.
No, there's no pulling the nose up, the stick back from that. Like, can you name one person that sold their soul to the devil and then paid off the debt or whatever and is now happy? It doesn't work for anybody. Like, you're just, once you sign that dotted line in whatever fashion you do, you're fucked for the rest of your life. Luckily, I've never been presented with that many contracts from the devil, so I don't think I have to worry about that. But I could, I'm a human being too. I can see myself maybe wanting to sign that dotted line. Who knows?
Have you ever had an opportunity or anything like that? Like, have you ever looked back and said, "Oh, there was a decision made there"?
I've been approached by people that I knew were nefarious, that knew were trying to put guardrails up on me. You're going to be a big star, kid. You just got to do it. Like, that's happened quite a few times, at least a handful. And I never answered the DM back. I've played with a few of them. Like, what are we talking here? And they're like, never mind. You find yourself way more valuable than what we think you are.
Oh, what do you mean questions?
You gotta ask.
What are you asking questions for? Just take it. Just sign a dotted line.
Yeah. I've definitely had a few lower level contracts be put in front of me, but yeah, I never entertained them because I've dabbled in trying to play to the algorithm or selling out or clout chasing and all that kind of shit, and it never made me feel good. It's always an icky masturbatory feeling, and I juxtapose that with all the stuff that makes me feel really good from a creativity standpoint. And it's like, you know what? I don't even think I'm gonna ever play that game ever, because it's I've done stuff that has made literally $0 that has put me on top of the world on cloud 9, and I've been offered a lot of money to do stuff that I knew wouldn't fucking scratch that itch at all. It's just those two things in comparison, you know which way to go, and I think I've walked the line pretty well. Like I said, I've never been in. Ask anybody. There's a handful of bigger shows that you could harken back to that have featured me or played my stuff. I've never tried to get anything from them, but I do think that's something that's remembered. Especially in this dynamic. And I'm not saying I'm not about doing favors for people, that being in good graces with people shouldn't be capitalized on at any point in time. But people remember how you interact with them, what you expect for them, tit for tat kind of things. And it's just going with your heart as far as, am I being kind of a faggot here? Oh, we're on YouTube. Am I kind of being a unsavory person when it comes to what I'm looking for in return? Like, you better walk the line, because it's always remembered. Put yourself in that person's shoes. And you should treat the golden rule. Treat people how you want to be treated. And it might not get you to the top of the mountain as fast as doing little low-hanging fruit trickery here or there or coattail riding or anything like that, but people do remember. And they're, from a networking standpoint, people will remember when maybe you do need them or they need you. It's always good to save up that capital, and it's always good to just do the right thing. And that's the way I play the game. And this is a game, you know?
Yeah,
it is a game.
And you're 100% right, and it's really a form of protection for you and for me, because I operate the same way. And you know, when I think about it, you know, you have two choices for relationships, for bonding. You have loyalty, which is through the genuine desire, like, bro, Ryan Harkness, I love that motherfucker. He's so fucking talented. I want to talk to him, right? And then you have the blackmail, which is through the other hierarchy. And there's no fun in that. There's no fun in blackmail, and you're never going to defeat loyalty. You're never going to defeat that on the other side. If somebody was willing to die for their family or whatever, you're not going to beat that. And I would much rather be a part of the loyalty, the creative, the exciting team, the real relationship side of it, than being used and discarded. And so often that, you know, you said it quite apropos. You said, you know, when you climbed to the top of that mountain, well, how many times have you gotten to the top of the mountain and said, well, shit, I never did. I don't want to be here. This ain't where I want to be. None of these motherfuckers are fun. Sure, they're in the great hotel and it's got a bubble bath and they got, you know, crepes and whatnot, but all these motherfuckers are sourpusses, man. They're all on their phone. They're all losers, bro. And then you go and, you know, you find your own crew and they're maybe at like the barbecue joint down the road with waffles or whatever, but they're all having a good time. You know, the floor might have peanut shells on it, but they're being creative. They're doing this, they're doing that, and that's what it's really all about. And that's how you get exciting. Now, of course, you still got to pay your bills. I ain't saying that. Don't get me, you know, don't get it twisted. And you're right. It's really a game, a political game of some sorts, where you kind of have to ascertain. Like when I met you, I was like, okay, I can be real with this motherfucker. I can be who I am with him. But then with other people, I got to do the cocktail talk. Oh, hello, good to meet you. What are we talking about here? What's going on here? Blah blah blah. Yeah, and it is.
I've been in a $75 million yacht and been grossed out and not having a good time.
Exactly.
Been at a Mexican landscaper's birthday party and had the time of my life.
Facts.
Something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. So there's some kind of currency going on. I call it human currency that needs to be taken account for, and we're moving away from that, especially on social media.
Yeah, well, and is that the purpose of social media? You know, that's the question. You know, we have. I don't know if you probably noticed this just as I have. Is that like I keep getting told technology is going to make everything better, but it's made everything worse. It's made the products worse. It's made the content worse. You know, we might be getting that Hilux, you know, Champ Toyota that Trump just signed in. I don't know. Maybe we'll get it. Maybe we won't. Maybe
I don't think we will. I've wanted a '94 Ford Ranger restored to its original state for a while. I've wanted that Toyota T100 truck, but like, I want the Hilux. But you just know that it's going to pass through some kind of transformation filter that is going to ruin it. The Hilux is literally too good to be true. It literally is. It's going to, and I'll keep an open mind, but something like what else in 2025 has that's been promised to us? It's going to get better. You're going to get this thing. It's all shit. Yeah. It all sucks. Nothing's getting better.
And isn't that the gimmick, though? I mean, that's how Trump came in. That's how all this stuff got arranged. And if you remember, when Trump came in, the whole thing he did was that warp drive. You know, that warp program with the shot. You know, when if a Democrat did that, everybody's going to rebel. But because it's Trump, everybody goes along with it. Now he's doing the same thing just 4 years later, and it's kind of like, oh no, it's okay because he says he's going to do this, this, and this, and we believe him. But why? Why? Because when we look at it, we see things like the Somalia thing going on. Why has that even gone on? You know, that thing up in Minneapolis or Minnesota or whatever. Yeah, with all of that, they're doing all of that, the social welfare program fraud, that it could be $8 billion in fraud that they've done over the past 4 years since Waltz has been the governor up there in Minnesota. And how crazy is that? So, you know, we're seeing all of this. How come technology isn't catching all of this stuff? if it's supposed to be better. But now I have to smog my car 3 times a year and like, you know, pay $200.
You're on that California stuff. I remember that. The emissions testing and all that kind of crap. Oof. That's a tangent to go down. That wasn't fun.
It's brutal, man.
We could literally make like a steam engine where you burn horse shit and coal, and it could be billowing smoke out the top of it, and no bubbles, no troubles, as long as you have working taillights. But
I need one of those.
Nothing is really getting better. People are more depressed than ever. Women, men, everybody's sadder than ever. There's less babies being born than ever. I'm really not feeling the progress.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm being told that right in my face, I'm feeling the yellow splatter of progress being explained to me on a day-to-day basis. But and while being told it's raining, it doesn't feel like it's a nice soft summer rain. It feels like it's going to a dark and dismal place. But there's no reason to get blackpilled. Like I mentioned earlier.
I agree.
There's a lot of opportunity that's going to open up. I know things seem shitty now. That's why they're doing all this. That's why social media is so dark, and so there's no more music anymore, and there's no more love and light and all that kind of stuff, and it all seems like it's getting obliterated. It's for you to go, oh, this sucks. I guess I'm going to have to just eat this shit sandwich. You don't have to eat the shit sandwich. You really don't. Right. The gratitude. You ever hear when you were a younger man, like, I don't know, does Oprah or whatever be like, you should have an attitude of gratitude?
Yeah. Oh, bro, church be saying that all the time.
It sounds like fucking corny as shit, you know? Like, don't tell me this. Like, if I have a ribeye steak in front of me, I'll be thankful for it. But if I'm, 2 months late on the electric bill and have a trash bag for a driver's side window, I'm gonna be fucking pissed off. But that sentiment really does hold true. You really should be grateful if you have the ability to get out of bed without excruciating pain, if you could still do something with yourself. Like, all that is under attack right now. Your gratitude is literally under attack right now. And they're trying to get you blackpilled. They're trying to put you in a black space. I know that to be the case. It's as clear. It's the writing on the wall in those instances are as clear as day to me. Don't fall for it, though. That's their greatest weapon, is to take the wind out of your sails, to take all the gratitude out of your life, and to just give you a I guess it's 50-year mortgages and I'll never own anything, and you can still do stuff. Yep, it's not like that. Even though it's like that, it's not like that. We need a coalition of people that still see the good, the true, and the beautiful, and don't need all the things that they're prescribing us and showing us on TikTok that we need. If we don't have them, that's the metric for happiness, and you can't be happy unless you have this stuff, so you might as well give up. No, we know that even though we've been told things are progressing, they're not. So we need to maintain the progress in our own lives. And I know that's somewhat esoteric and not really obvious superficially, but it's absolutely possible. And you need to stay positive. You need to still find a reason to get out of bed in the morning, and that's what they're trying to crush. And I don't really know how to articulate it beyond that, but that's what I think the big weapon is. Like, they really do want to blackpill us with all this horse shit handed down from on high. Pornography, poisonous food, like, just don't...
Even DoorDash.
System.
Yeah.
Where DoorDash is evil, in my opinion. Like, all these things, you can... And we don't have time to get into it right now, but you could check out of all these systems and go back to, and I know it's a meme and it's cringe, but a more traditional way of life. People have been doing it for thousands of years before we had microprocessors and transistors and all that kind of stuff. Like, but we were more human back then, and we were happier, despite what they tell you. So it's going to be a process of getting back to that, and that will create more empowered people that will reclaim the spoils of war, in my opinion. That's why I'm not black-pilled. I think that's definitely going to happen.
No, you're spitting 100% facts, and the chat is loving it. Completely agree with everything you just said. Even to clarify it maybe in different areas, you have to seize your own agency, and what they're trying to do now is trying to create a sense of learned helplessness. And we as people, it should be our opportunity to seize the maximum amount of agency that we can get a hold of. Whether it's doing a spatchcock chicken instead of fucking having Popeyes do a DoorDash. And you bring that heart back into your home, you know, and you resonate with that instead of outsourcing that out into the machine for these systems that they've set up to parasite off of you, to tap out and to suck your life out. But that's the truth. Now, I know we've been going for about an hour, Ryan. I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you got a show to do tonight, and I really appreciate you coming on. Of course, if you got 1 or 2 minutes, that's cool too, but I want to respect your time. But 100% agree with all of that, Ryan. That was very well said.
Yeah, it really is an amalgamation of little, seemingly on a day-to-day basis, insignificant things that are.
That's 100% right. The small choices,
yeah, it's tiny, tiny little things like cooking your own meal from scratch ingredients and stuff like that. Like it's a big puzzle made out of thousands, tens of thousands of little pieces, and you could make them out of dog shit, or you could make them out of something real that you can still see is real. And the more you swing that way, the more you build your life, that 1,000-piece puzzle out of real pieces, the better you're going to feel and the less you're going to fall victim to what's being perpetrated on you. But at the same time, your anger, I know a lot of people are angry right now. You should be angry. That is completely justified. You should be enraged. You've been aggressed upon violently in a very evil manner. And that's some pretty deep shit, but part of that is all the tricks that they're putting in front of you. And the more they're trying to get you to go down a momentum, you know you're pissed off, and then they're going to direct it this way, and it's going to be the way they want you to go. So keep that in mind as you as a young man or a woman or anything like that, an old man, an old woman, you're probably pretty angry at the state of things right now. So you're being pushed in a momentum, in a direction. Just keep in mind that they're probably going to want that direction you're going in to hit some kind of brick wall.
Yeah.
And the way to get away from that is to just check out of all these systems. And I think if I was going to say anything to wrap this up, I would be like, check out of the horse shit that has been handed to you from on high, and check into better stuff. Check into stuff that makes it that makes you feel real, that you know is genuine. Stuff like Ray Ray's art, stuff that I can't vouch for myself because I am not a objective speaker for myself, but maybe check out my show, The Ryan Harkness Show, every Sunday 8 p.m. to whenever I run out of content p.m. It will be tonight.
Oh, just a second, Ryan. The audio dropped out just a second. This happens every once in a while. So let me just go ahead and get that resolved, and then I'll add it. There it is. Okay. Okay, you should be back right now.
Check.
Sorry about that. Yeah, you're back. Sorry.
No worries. But yeah, simply put, in a nutshell, you know what makes you feel icky. Like a lot of us all of us have engaged in it. The only advice I could give, if I'm in a position to give advice, is to check out of the stuff that makes you feel icky, and check into the stuff that it's going to be covered up with work and maybe a little bit of pain, a veneer of that, but just try it out. Give yourself 2 weeks of maybe shutting the phone off and stop ordering DoorDash and making your own macaroni salad or whatever the hell you want to eat. And
Well-
stop consuming.
Well, I can vouch for Ryan. Ryan is a tremendous guy. He's got tremendous talent, tremendous show. I love his show. It makes me laugh. His music is over the top, so definitely listen to the Ryan Harkness show later today. I got the link down in the description below. It's going to be 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time until whenever he runs out. It's a lot of fun. You definitely hit the nail on the head right there. We have to take back our own agency and use that rage and that anger in order not to get hovered back into the trick again. I think that the rage and the anger is the key to help get us out of that jail cell. And let that go. They try to tell us, oh, don't be mad, push it down, push it down. No, spark it up, pull it out, and then walk out of the jail cell. And like you said, make your own macaroni and cheese or whatever, and fill your own life with light instead of depending on the false light coming from these other objects, these illuminated objects as they were. But Ryan, I sure appreciate you coming on here. I'm very excited to watch your show tonight. As everybody should be watching Ryan's show tonight. Subscribe to his show, give him a like, follow him on Twitter. He says he's not going to be on Twitter very much anymore, but he will be when he does say he says funny ass shit all the time on Twitter, and I'm always trying to put something funny behind it, like you do
a good job at that.
And so I'm trying to have a good time, and just trying to make it fun, and then turn it off and go about your day or whatever. But everybody, go follow Ryan. All of his shit's great. Fucking love the guy. Ryan, I'm gonna make some macadamia nut fudge later. And I don't know, do you like fudge? Because I'm going to send you a little brick of this fudge if you like fudge.
I like fudge. I've been known to pack it a few times inside little tight spaces.
Well, not for contracts.
Consolidated. I'm a fudge consolidator, if you will.
Yeah. You work on a contract basis. That's right.
Yeah.
But
that dotted line.
Yeah. But for sure. And so we're going to go ahead and get that. But is there anything you want to say before we wrap it up and get out of here?
No, nothing. Just love, take care of yourself, all that kind of stuff, and I'm looking forward to the next time that we do this.
Yeah. Hey, before we go, did you get that raccoon? I gotta know. Did you get that hat going on?
I didn't get the coat there. I haven't been baiting or anything like that. There's nothing for him to go out to. But yeah, the sheep are still acting weird. So there's something going around something going on around this farm. I don't know what it is yet. Maybe he's coming back, but if I do, you know what I'm gonna do as a result of it. But no.
Oh hell yeah, coonskin cap. Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that's definitely happening.
All right, Ryan, thanks so much for coming on, and hey, thank you guys to the chat for watching. We really had a good time. We really hit some depths here that I didn't expect, so that was fantastic, and I absolutely loved it. Now everybody get out there, kick some ass, and then go watch Ryan's show in a couple hours. Get out of here, people.